Thank you for joining me for another Quick Hits conversation. I'm Dr. Robyn. I'm known as the Mental MacGyver. I provide luxury level, high performance support and coaching to executives, founders, celebrities, and athletes. With me today, I have Sara Oblak Speicher. She is a former international athlete, life coach, and transformational expert. I have Dr. Laura Dowling. She is an author, keynote speaker, coach, and scholar specializing in leadership and how to use neuroscience for improved outcomes. She has 25 years experience in corporate leadership and 15 years as an adjunct professor. And I have Dr. Mohan Ananda. He is a scientist, lawyer, serial entrepreneur, and author of the book Autobiography of an Immigrant, which has been translated into multiple languages. He is passionate about helping people succeed in business. The question I have today: is it ever okay to take revenge? Laura, kick us off.
It's a tricky question, Robyn. Assuming you've made an accurate evaluation of the situation that's causing the need for retribution, there's a light side and a dark side to taking revenge. On the light side, the idea of revenge kicks off your brain's reward network, increasing dopamine, the feel-good chemical in your brain. So the idea of getting revenge for a wrong can make you feel good. But typically, the feeling only lasts a short time and quickly moves to the dark side unless you redirect it into something positive for the long term. To leverage the desire for revenge in a positive way, you can use the feeling and its intensity to motivate you towards personal growth or achieving a goal. This will keep your reward center primed in a positive way. On the dark side, in the long term, the desire for revenge only prolongs the negative feeling of being wronged.
Sara?
I love the remarks about the dark and the light side, because my first reaction when I saw your invitation today was like, speaking as a former athlete, I mean, we wouldn't achieve what we achieved if there wasn't a glimpse of that revenge for all the lost games and for all the unpleasant practices, and you just wanted to show them that you can. And I think that's sometimes the driving force in entrepreneurship too. Like, oh, you said I can't, watch me. But yes, there's the fine line between going to the dark side and then becoming draining and being unsustainable and dangerous to yourself and to others, versus being just this, I would say, a spark that you need to light up the fire that then fuels you, propelling you forward towards achievements when it's done correctly and when it's managed properly.
My understanding is revenge really is because of some form of retaliation and retribution. I think it comes from sometimes personality traits. Some people are very aggression oriented, so they somehow or other feel comfortable by taking the revenge. And also sometimes there is due to cultural background. People sometimes want to keep their social order or some form of sense of justice, things of that type. Then there is also certain educational background. Depending upon people looking at it in a formal way, they don't think revenge is the right. I think it can be changed by training and also by reaching out help from third party before you revenge. Talk to somebody, talk to a friend, talk to an expert. I mean, even though you may be thinking that is the right thing to do, but before you do that, I would recommend to have take time, think about it, talk to somebody. But the problem is people react very fast. People without really going through the process. If you take time, it may not. But, in addition to that, as it was said, if you start going to the revenge, it will create more conflict, more grievances. It may even reach violence. So that is the wrong approach. In general, the revenge and affecting and doing something bad is not the path.
I love that at the end you actually answered the question, which is it ever okay? Because I feel like we've talked about what revenge is and why you might use it, but we didn't. I mean, you said there at the end, Mohan, no, you don't think revenge is the right answer most of the time. Ladies, what do you think? Is it ever okay?
I'm saying it is okay if it is the energy is pushed in a positive direction, like personal growth or goal achievement, it's okay then.
Sarah?
Yeah, I would second that. And I think that's the distinction here. If you're using this energy, overcoming an obstacle, overcoming a challenge, and you wanted to prove in a healthy way, then yes. But if you're taking it out on somebody else, then absolutely no. And I'd also like to piggyback on something that Mohan mentioned was the cultural connection to revenge. There are cultures, there are societies, and I actually grew up in one that is notorious for generations of families being torn apart because there was some grievance with somebody generations ago that no one knows about anymore, but it's just, you keep on going and going and going. And then third generation cousins are like, oh, we're related? I had no idea you even existed. Or in public service, the same way. When they recognize you by your last name, is like, oh, I had beef with your third uncle, 37 years ago, so I will make your life a misery.
But I take exception to what you just said with regard to revenge is sometimes okay. I feel revenge is never okay. That's just my general statement. However, you can approach that in different form. It's not revenge. What you want to do, there are purposes. If you feel hurt, you think there is really something was done wrong to you, you can probably educate them, teach them in different form, not as a revenge, by making them understand that that is not the norm. That's not the way one should proceed. So, I mean, of course, revenge is a very subjective in the sense, what is revenge? Is it taking a legal action against that person a revenge? Probably not, because it's the proper remedy that is available through the rule of law. So that is, even though you may call it as a revenge, but not revenge in the sense, do something criminal, something illegal, or something wrong. I don't think it's never okay. I just want to make that clear.
Yeah, Mohan, I think I agree with you because Laura and Sarah, you're using revenge in a way I have never heard it used. I've never heard it used as having a light side or a positive or a way to become better. I've never heard it used that way. I've always heard revenge used as, I'm out to get you, you hurt me, and I'm going to hurt you worse. Yeah. That's the way that I define the word. But do you guys see it in a different way?
There's a light side to that. It's when you feel anger and resentment and the need for retaliation, it's emotional, it's a feeling. And what I'm saying is the light side of that is to flip that emotion and feeling to a more positive side in self-improvement or achieving a goal for yourself in a productive manner instead of retaliation outward towards someone else.
Revenge, though, then it's not a revenge. That is more an educational experience. Believe me, in my life, there are many occasions I've come to that stage, boy, that is, I want to get in or get that, that has happened. But I think back and say that, no, this is a challenge. This is an educational opportunity to learn and change. Maybe the relationship with that person should be corrected, or maybe even to avoid that. Not you go back and revenge in the sense, go and attack or do something stupid, in my opinion. Whereas you can certainly learn from that experience. You become a better person. And that has happened to me personally.
Sarah, how do you use this word?
Yeah, that was an interesting one because that was my first instinct. I didn't actually go and look it up what it actually means by definition. But my first instinct was from the background as an athlete. After you lose a game and you can't wait for your next game because I'm now going to avenge that loss. And I'm going to prove it to myself and to others that I can overcome this, and I practice and I can be better season after season, year after year. And then with entrepreneurship, perhaps there indeed is a different definition. But when you have odds stacked against you and everybody's doubting in you and you're like, I'm going to prove it to you. You said that I can do this, watch me. But perhaps that is not a revenge by definition.
And that's the nuance, I think, which I hadn't even thought about between avenging something and getting a revenge from someone. Oh, what an interesting way to look at it.
And then a conversation for another time.
Yeah. Well, this is a really deep question, and I think we've covered it really, really well. So thank you so much for having this conversation with me. I'm going to have to think about it some more. I look forward to speaking to each of you again really soon.